If you look off to your right, you'll see the Valiant. That F-14 is going to be on static display today. If you saw the movie Top Gun, which featured these F-14s, this is what you're looking at. Now, the F-14 was the first swing-wing fighter, and as you can see now, he has his wings extended, full landing configuration. The U.S. Navy F-14 Tomcat. That aircraft will also be on static. Very own Tycho Bell, starting with the jumpers that will open the show today. And Mustangs all the way from Culpeper, Virginia, as we get a fast like Crazy Horse has arrived. Another P-51 Mustang. We're going to have an aerobatic demonstration later on in the air show from Crazy Horse, P-51 you just saw fly by.
Closely, you may actually see the nose of the aircraft moving slightly left or right in response to the jump master's instructions. As the aircraft crosses overhead, the jump master will give the final thumbs up and signal for the moments where all 4 members of the team will exit the aircraft to begin today's free fall demonstration. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look directly overhead right now, the C-47 is at altitude. As you watch this aircraft, he will move back and to our left before the jumpers exit. He probably will actually be departing about where the stoplight is out on the main road when you were driving in. So now watch for the high flying black and gold special operations command parachute. As you may have guessed, these jumpers are faced with a unique situation. Jumpers now have
Of Normandy, and was a gift to the Valiant Air Command by the day back. When you least expect it, there they are. This is Harvard tribute. The undetected Japanese force arrived off Pearl Harbor the morning of December 7th, and in 2 successive waves, more than 350 Japanese bombers Navy and Marines Bill.
Yeah, it's been almost around.
Off your left. See that tape? Making one more torpedo run. Right above is running Wildcat. Very basic airplane, no wing load. Got a hand crank landing gear, 3,000 feet per minute. And that is the aircraft, the FM-2 Wildcat, that came well before the Hellcat, Corsair. And Dick is showing us a high-speed path from the west to the east. A little bit of imagination, you can put yourself back on that day, December 7th, I'm especially experienced in that Wildcat. When that Wildcat lands, I'd like you to take a look at the landing gear. You'll notice how very narrow it is compared to most airplanes. The bougies are being comes in. We'll talk about it again, but I'd like you to focus on that landing gear as he makes a little high-speed land like that. Give you an opportunity to get some photos. Be departing. We'll tell you a little bit more about those aircraft once they do get in the air. On the roll. Before he got into that fighter or that bomber. And off to your left, ladies and gentlemen, smoking lights on. Looks very impressive. Let me tell you, that is hard to do. And as the bougies come by, having a big wave, everybody there can say it's something to spend your life. And overhead are the BTs, the basic trainers, BT-13s. You notice these are a fixed gear training aircraft. Unlike the P-6s, which have a retractable gear, this was maintaining a constant position, constant distance from the nose and the wing of the aircraft ahead. And the result is what we see, a beautiful formation flight. is on the roll in that beautiful P-51. You're looking at the United States last, showing us a high-speed pass. That is a sound that no other airplane can duplicate. The evolution of the P-50 and the B-25 on the roll. I'll tell you, that is a sight, ladies and gentlemen. The Navy B version, the Air Force first got the A models. A little bigger engine in it. The B-25 Mitchell. Bill is a warbird fanatic out of New Jersey. That's restored by and flown by Tom Riley out of Kissimmee today. And over. You can see that Blue Angels paint scheme, Navy T-33, flown by Sandy. Aircraft. He's going to give us a vertical climb into a 1/2 Cuban 8. Okay, looks like he's going to loop it all the way over. And he should come down the backside of that loop at about 500 feet. And that's our 1/2 Cuban 8, which is a direction reversing maneuver. 1/2 an 8 over the top, straighten it out, bring it down the back side. What a maneuverable this aircraft is. A lot of the maneuvers that he does are the same maneuvers that the cadets had to do in mastering this aircraft. That aircraft can accelerate even airspeed. Have a group of P6s that has an aerobatic demonstration that 4 of them. And with the 1/2 Cuban 8 showing us the direction reversal, he's going to show you. Deploy aircraft over the top, roll out level down the backside. Taxi to the terminal. The figure 8 over the ground, hence the name, the Cuban 8.
Okay, 58 Hotel, roger that. And what's your direction of flight when you come out, Hotel? Okay. Launching to the south, runway 18, I'll taxi you across just as soon as you drop your passenger off. Roger that, 68 Quebec, right here, boss.
Now the rolling ability of that T6 just shown to us by Gene. And again, if you were on an airfield in late 1930s, early 1940s, Cuban 8s, loops, some of these maneuvers that you're seeing were the very same maneuvers that the aviation cadets. And only after mastering this aircraft and these maneuvers with that aviation cadet. And I promised you a MiG. And now the pitch right now, Mr. Jim Rossi in that MiG-17.
That's a lovely scene.
You're going to see a contrasted aircraft with the T-6s in the air, the MiG-17 on the ground. Now you can see as Gene McNeely is doing his aerobatic routine, we're juggling airplanes again. Cars are coming out. We're going to show you a little bit of a T-34 demonstration in a very few minutes. You're going to see something a little bit different with that MiG. We're going to try and do an afterburner takeoff. And he's going to go to about 10,000. Looking off right to left, our MiG-17, Mr. Jimmy Rossi. He calls this airplane Mr. MiG. An afterburner takeoff. Now you see the flames coming out of the back of that airplane. He's got that afterburner lit. And a beautiful job. Very smooth. And Jimmy's going to bring it around in a very tight 16 has, but he's probably grunting and groaning. Jimmy Rossi, who's flying that aircraft, has a couple of jets. He's got an Iskra jet that he calls the Stiletto. Does a very fine aerobatic routine in that aircraft. He's got this MiG-17 known as Mr. MiG, which, as you can see, I don't have to say anything. He certainly knows how to perform in this airplane. And as you can see, he's showing us it does have somewhat of an inverted capability. Remember that T-33 a little bit ago, flying that arc, maintaining
The wind's back out. Yeah.
and straight ahead landing from the north to the south as we recover that MiG.
but they cut their throat and open it up and show it to you. This is what it is.
Like some Americans. Crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, but that's what Russians do.
I was over talking to this guy yesterday. I don't see anything. I think the Americans. This is crazy.
Bombs under the fin. Two bombs under the fin. Like that? Yeah. Yep, I have these things playing.
I remember that's about 40 seconds. Yes, that's it.
Or two cheeses. Well, they did last year. They did regular parachutes, I think, last year. That might have been McDill's.
Ladies and gentlemen, this time we ask that you stand for the playing of the national anthem.
Valiant Air Command, Sons of the Samurai, led by Dave Garber. Now the Wildcat was first of the famous Roman cats. The Wildcat preceded the Hellcat. Long tradition at the Roman Aircraft Factory, culminating with the F-14 Tomcat. Now if you haven't taken a look at that, he's over on military static display line. And you can see the beginning and the end from this Wildcat that is performing for you today through to the F-14 Tomcat on static display, along with the tradition of Navy flags. Oak City. That's it, got line right there. Let's hear it for the Fugees. P-51 Mustang, Corsair, P-38. The trainers that we used to start with primary trainers, going through to the advanced trainers. And we'll be launching those aircraft in just a very few minutes. Big wave. astonished and was shocked by this unexpected Doolittle raid. The Americans, of course, looked at it as the first act of retribution for Pearl Harbor, and the war was on. The B-25 with a top speed of about 400 miles an hour not only showed what it could do during World War II, but was also a performer in the Korean War. As our AD Skyraider comes by, now this particular B-25 underwent a 3-year restoration. Of this particular aircraft since the restoration was completed. In the early days of the Korean War, a P-51 Mustang, I'll tell you, when he landed in that Mustang Thursday, the grin had been carved into his face from the day of flying that airplane. And Mr. George Baker in the wheelway is giving us a little demonstration of the aerobatic capability of that aircraft. Deer trainer, navigator trainer, also the tailwheel configuration, conventional gear, tricky to handle in that crosswind. Big wave for Tom Island in this 25. That's under the wind windshield.
Listen now, there's but only one fighter in the world ever designed that sounds like this. This maneuver will demonstrate the rolling capabilities of the Mustang and give you a better look at this magnificent aircraft. We will now demonstrate the 4-point hesitation roll. 1. Going up now, you will execute a 1/2 reverse cubic to reposition for his next maneuver, the 8-point roll. Precision roll control was definitely minimal during air combat. The difference between a kill or being killed. Once again, off to your left to demonstrate the crisp rolling capabilities of the Mustang. He will perform the 8-point roll. Going up now, we will reposition for his next maneuver, the barrel roll. So, the vertical capabilities of the Mustang air combat arena. Watch now as he pulls the nose up for the barrel roll. enemy territory. Once again, P-51 strength was in the vertical plane.
this portion of our show as the Yak Attack. That is a Navy force carrier owned by the Shermans down in Palm Beach, owned today by Denny Sherman. Now this particular which is in the Blue Oceans configuration. It's being flown by Sandy. Doing what we're supposed to do, nailing the target. Spotting that target. And off to your left, with the napalm, is the Skyraider. Target is spotted. Skyraider inbounds. We're going to warm up here for the sea landing gear down into his left downwind. Those aircraft coming in. He's not flapping those wings to take off, ladies and gentlemen, but he's showing you what it did. This is how they stored many, many aircraft on the confined space of the carrier deck. And the Canadian T-33.
Jamie, come over here. You can see.
As Sandy is pulling up, it's going to be this arching inverted pass. But this aircraft did not have an inverted fuel system. The pilot has to maintain positive G's on the airplane at all times. And if you look right behind Mr. Rosell and that now the Canadians built a fair amount of T-33s. Now Sandy pulls up into that inverted arc. You can see he's flying a parabola-shaped pass to maintain those positive G's on the aircraft and to ensure the fuel keeps flowing to the engine. Want to give us a little tip of the wing for your cameras? 1, 2, 3, and 4 points. Again, marching. He's on the airplane at all times. Inbound, left to right. Knife edge pass. Puts that right wing down, puts it on its head. The airplane can still fly on its edge.
to dull overcast. Are in position. The recon team is in position in the field. The O2 is coming in, spotting that target. Forces are calling in the artillery. Now we got our recall pass out of the generator. Well, then the O2 is the way to give us another spot on that.
Catch it. Here's the ketchup. Here's the napkins. Here's the chips. Here's my beer. That Vietcong contingent is still moving. Special Forces is in communication with the O2 spotter, trying to get a fix position. Now these generators were known as Sandy's going to Vietnam now. Get your cameras ready for the Sandy strike.
loaded in the door of the C-47 gunship.
Remind everyone, if you've lost car keys or lost anything, if someone has just found an exposed roll of film, go over to the Red Cross stand. That's a lost and found repository. If you find something, take it to the Red Cross stand. If you've lost something, go over to the Red Cross stand and maybe